Hey guys, welcome back to another collaboration video. Now the whole idea stemmed from late night binge watching of random YouTube videos, and I stumbled upon Michael B, the Game Genie's channel, and he did a video a little while back with him and his friends about the worst games they had growing up. And I thought, hey, that's kind of a interesting idea for a collaboration video, so here we are. So thank you, Michael B, the Game Genie, for that idea. So we're gonna start the fun off with the crazy guys from Central Pennsylvania Reviews, CPR.
Oh, what's up guys? Al here from Central Pennsylvania Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about worst game from your childhood growing up. And for me that has to go to Top Gun. Oh yeah, no. So, we've probably all played this game. We all know it at least. And it is actually kind of fun. The fighting missions, the dog fights, flying through and shooting stuff. But it comes to a grinding halt once you get to that landing stage. We all know. We've all played it. Even worse is trying to refill the plane mid-air. That is just terrible. And it just kills the game. It kills the momentum. Everything about it just makes you angry. I remember being as a kid just raging trying to land that stupid plane. Or refilling it. It was just awful. I mean, what? Is this Top Gun? Excuse me, is this Top Gun? Where the... I don't want to land a plane for 10 hours. I just want to play. I just want to shoot stuff. I want to shoot stuff. Come on, Konami. Come on. Anyway, that's my choice. Hope you liked it. Here's Chris to talk about his.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris from Central Pennsylvania Reviews, PA Holes, minus Alex right now because we're shooting these videos separately. We were challenged to talk about our least favorite game growing up. And so picture this. You're 9 years old. It's Christmas Day. You go downstairs. You see a Nintendo box because you know what's inside that wrapping paper. And you go and you rip it open. And what do you get, much to your dismay? Exodus by Wisdom Tree. Yay! What a fun fucking game. Not really. They were pretty much trying to do the whole like Adventures of Lolo thing, only with really poorly, and doing it with you were Moses and you're spreading the word of God. Either Moses or Abraham, I don't even remember. However, Christmas was saved that year because I also got this. I got Bible Adventures, which you can do all kinds of crazy shit in, like throw baby Moses into the river. You can pick cows up and throw them around for when you're Noah. It's insane. It's a really fun game. Minus the religious aspect for some people, but I honestly enjoyed it very much. It has good gameplay. Both games retailed for about $90 when they came out, which was absolutely insane for the time, and even it's still insane for the time today. I don't want to go pay $90 for a game. So anyways, yeah, that's my 2 bits, and thanks for watching.
Is it getting colder in here, or is it just me? Welcome to the Ice House. It's the Ice Pirate up next.
Hey, thanks, Will. This is the Ice Pirate coming at you, and we want to talk about the worst games we played growing up. Should be no surprise what mine is. It's Battletoads. I absolutely hate this game. A game so fundamentally broken that you cannot beat a 2-player game playing 2 players. It's a horrible game. And I don't want to hear everybody like, oh, Ice Pirates just because it's too hard. No, it's just because it's shit. It's a terrible game. The makers of this game could show up to my house with weed and strippers, and I still wouldn't have anything to do with this fucking game. When the most thing that people talk about is apologies, this. If this is the highlight for your game, it's a sad fucking game. It was terribly made, it's broken, and anybody wants to come at me, go for it, but it's a shit game. It's up there with TMNT by Ultra and most LGN games. That's for you, Captain. Me and my brother rented this game for 2-player action, and we couldn't do anything with it. And now that I've gotten older, I've looked back and seen how the game is pretty much unplayable in 2-player. What kind of fucking game that's made for multiple players cannot be beat by multiple fucking players? You know what, I don't even want to talk about this game. It's been 28 years since I played it. There's no gameplay footage on this game because I'm going to continue my no playthrough of this game. So right now, I'm done. Fuck this game. I'm going to send it to Phil for the last little bit of this video.
That's a lot of damage.
You want a game beaten You want a game utterly destroyed? You want a game that someone will run, like do a no-death run on? Then you want to call this guy. Megadan29, you're up next.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Megadan29, and this is my worst NES game growing up. Max Impact, I'm not sure whether I thank you for being in this collab or not. So, here it is. John Elway's quarterback. This was an easy pick for me. You had two little boys, being me and my brother, that grew up and loved sports. So we really wanted to play sports games. We love Nintendo, we love sports. We want to play sports games. This sucks. Let me tell you why. No season mode. The teams are always blue or red. Never anything different. There's only maybe not even 10 teams. I'm not sure. And I don't care to look it up because I don't care about this game. So I don't really care about that. This came out in 1987, so Tecmo Bowl wasn't out yet, to be fair. But I have to swear there had to have been something better than this. Actually, not playing anything at all would have been better than this. This probably caused us to go outside a lot more, so they achieved that. But there was no stats, there was no season mode, there was no tournament mode. There was two-player, even though, do you really want two people to have to suffer this? I think one's enough. There's not real teams on there. You just pick cities, like Chicago, and this and that. It doesn't say Chicago Bears. It's just complete garbage. There's a decent amount of plays on there and everything, but you quickly find out that if you just pass it, your guy goes in like turbo mode. I'm not sure if that was a glitch, but that's always something me and my brother noticed. And it was just really, really dumb and didn't make any sense. This game maybe had us glued to the TV for 3 minutes. The time in the quarters was also all screwed up. It wasn't ever even on the screen. It would just update, and it was just terrible. It wasn't accurate at all. The way that you passed, you couldn't even pick the passer. You would just move the stupid arrow around. It was awful. It was complete trash, and you know what? Why do I have...
Next up, you know what I'm going to do, don't you? J-Love, you're up next.
Hey everybody, it's your girl J-Love81. I am here today to talk about my worst game growing up. And that game is Rocket Ranger. Now, when I was little, my mom took me to Toys R Us, told me to pick out a game, and I meant to pick out the Rocketeer. Does this look like the Rocketeer? Took it home. When I realized what I did, I started to cry, and my mom's like, "You're stuck with it." I was stuck with this piece of turd, and it is so unbelievably boring. And as a little kid, you're not gonna understand something complicated like this. Yeah. Rocket Ranger is a 1988 action-adventure strategy game released on the PC and in 1990 on the NES. This game is based in the World War II era, playing a US Army scientist setting out to stop an alien invasion. Using a rocket pack and a radium pistol, you must fly around the world fighting alien technology. This game takes a lot of patience because it is extremely slow. All I did was read and read and read. I just felt like I did nothing but read. I'm falling asleep right now. But you get to shoot down enemy fighters, fist fight alien soldiers in order to gain rocket parts. You must collect 5 parts for a rocket ship and 500 units of lunarium to go to the moon and close down the mines and battle aliens. You send agents all over the world to help you gather essential information. You must stop world domination and rescue Dr. Barnstoff and his beautiful daughter Jane. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but do not buy this game. Stay away from it. Stay far away, please. Well guys, thank you for joining me. Years later, I did trade this in, and then just a few years ago, I got it back because No matter what, this piece of junk is still nostalgic to me, and I had to have it back in my collection. So, thanks, Mom. And we salute you.
Man, I could really go for a meat stick or ribs, or I'm kind of hungry for some meat. Well, I guess this next video will have to do. Hungry Goriya.
Roadrunner for NES came into my life as a gift for some birthday or Christmas from my aunt and uncle many years ago. Growing up in the 90s naturally meant that I was over the moon about the prospect of being able to play a game as one of my favorite cartoon characters. The gameplay is relatively straightforward here. You need to eat seed piles along the way to keep your strength up, and you need to avoid Wily. If he catches you, he grabs you by the neck and drags you away to eat you. A fate I'd prefer rather than having to play this game again. There are lots of ways to die in Roadrunner, like getting blown up, getting hit by cars, or falling down cliffs. This all seems like a hilarious formula for a good game, but it falls apart pretty quickly because of the seed meter. For every pile of seeds you miss, you move down one position in the meter until you hit the bottom. When that happens, you're out of strength and become a paralyzed sitting Roadrunner for Wily. The way your seed meter moves down is sometimes unpredictable and unfair. Even running past a seed pile that you can't get to yet because of a winding path will bring it down, and you'll be bleeding lives in no time because of this problem. I never got anywhere in this game growing up because the game's pretty much unplayable without the Game Genie. There are great codes that allow you to skip the seed requirement and concentrate on evading Wily instead. As a kid, this game frustrated me to no end. The seed meter wasn't something I had a grasp on at all back then, and even playing the game with the Game Genie didn't help much since there aren't any continues and lives are really hard to come by. The only good things about Roadrunner that stayed with me over the years were the funny animations for both of the characters when they met their demise, and some of the music. Other than that, the game gets worse and worse as levels press onward because the number of seed piles you need to consume increases while your seed meter stays the same. Miss 5 piles and you're dead. Not to mention that there's only 4 separate levels that just get harder and harder each cycle with more obstacles and more frustration. Roadrunner is unpredictable, unforgiving, and repetitive to a point that it puts it at the very bottom of the list of games that I ever feel like playing. Though it does have its charms, I'm at a borderline level of hatred with this one.
You all know him, you all love him. It is the nefarious one, Nefarious Wes.
Hey, what's up, Nefarious Wes here. Now, the last time that Will hosted a collaboration project, I unfortunately was unable to participate. It wasn't a subject that resonated with me. It really didn't apply to me, so I wasn't able to contribute. So when Will came up with the idea for this subject, I was like, God damn it, I'm not going to be able to contribute again because it really didn't apply to me. Once again, I really didn't grow up with bad games. I feel that I've always had good taste in games. I never really bought any stinkers. But then I remembered one game. I remembered Sorta Sodan for the Sega Genesis.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Sega's 16-bit console was released when I was in middle school, and even as a youngster I began to reject Nintendo's cutesy image. Like my music, I wanted some hard shit. Growing up with ultra-violent movies such as RoboCop and basically anything that Arnie had done,
stick around,
I was already becoming desensitized to violence. It's all make-believe after all, and needed some blood and gore in my games. This is the sole reason that I had purchased Sorta Sodan. And boy, is this game bad. Originally an Amiga game, Electronic Arts in their early years often ported PC games to the Genesis, and the results were often piss poor. These clunky PC games, for the most part, did not translate well to home consoles. Sorta Sodan was no exception. Your fighters are marred by extremely slow movement, as if they're sporting Uncle Vito's cement shoes, and simply turning around to confront baddies behind you can be a Herculean task. The combat is just as equally frustrating, with short-range attacks that practically leave you exchanging blow for blow against foes. The jumping mechanics are horrendous, and the game doesn't even have background music for fuck's sake. But this is why I bought the game.
Goodbye, head!
Oh yeah, it wasn't every day that you got to see decapitation in a video game. The blood is what attracted me to this one, but after several playthroughs, it was pretty evident to me that this game just plain sucked. Blood Red nostalgia goggles can't even save Sorta Sodan. What a stinker.
Don't say Astyanax. Don't say Faxanadu. Don't say a bunch of other stuff, because Mr. Linguistics himself is here today, Miketendo.
When I was about 8 or 9, I got a Super NES for my birthday. I was pumped. The Super NES was better than the NES, technically speaking, in so many ways. And I was excited to play a new generation of video games.
The day I got my Super NES, I knew I'd be heavily invested in the pack-in title, Super Mario World. But my dad had other plans for us, and he went out and rented a game from our local grocery store, which is where we'd rent games at the time. He rented a game which I'd never heard of before, Ultraman Towards the Future.
Ultraman Towards the Future was released for the Super NES as a post-launch title a few months after the console was released in 1991. It's based on the Japanese television series of the same name.
Ultraman has been around for decades, pretty much since the 1960s, and has had various different incarnations and reimaginings over the years. Now, it's like a combination of the kaiju monster movies like Godzilla, combined with the Super Sentai series, or Super Sentai style shows. The way that the hero transforms into Ultraman involves him triggering the alien life form through something called a beta capsule.
But wait, what's that? Is that what I think it is? Is that the Superman theme song? Well, it's not. It's actually the theme song from the show of the same name, Ultraman Towards the Future. But still, it's a huge ripoff of the classic Christopher Reeves-era Superman theme song. Ultraman is a 2D fighting game where you can punch with the B button, kick with the A button, and jump with the X button? I don't know, okay, seems a bit odd. Using a combination of those buttons, you can do special air-based attacks. You use the Y button to fire your laser at an enemy. The laser powers up on its own based on a time limit, and when pressing either R or L, you can go up or down on the levels and change how powerful you want your shot to be. At the most powerful level, it'll wipe out the enemy when you reach the finish bar when you defeat him. You can do goofy jump kicks and overhead punches, roll backwards or forwards, and even run, but the controls here are a mess. You seem to only be able to run away if the enemy is off the screen. Turning around is awkwardly lumbering, and I found myself constantly being stuck after accidentally jumping over an enemy, as well as bumping into them. There's 9 stages to match the 9 enemies you'll face, and though I was never able to get through the 5th level, I usually stopped caring by then. With only 2 default continues, the game feels too difficult for its own good. Trying to play this as a kid was more than frustrating. I wanted to like this game, but because of how slow and clunky it is, I feel like it's too faithful to the movement of the characters in the show.
I guess I would consider myself a fan of the franchise now, though I really haven't seen that much of it. But as a kid, this game really disappointed me, and that's a shame because I actually have really nostalgic memories of playing this one with my dad. It was the only video game I ever played with my dad. He really wasn't much of a gamer. So in the back of my mind, I kind of have those warm, nostalgic memories for this title, despite the fact that it's not a good game and I didn't like it then. And honestly, playing it again, I don't like it now, but it remains in my collection for one reason, for that nostalgia. You know, nostalgia is a really powerful thing. It's one of the reasons why we all come together. Well, that's my time for this video. Toodles!
Alrighty, so I guess it's my turn, last and certainly not least, I guess. And my pick is actually, and I don't own the game anymore, I wonder why. But that is Deadly Towers, more like Deadly Piece of Shit. Hate this game, Deadly Towers is super lame. Conan ripoff, rubber pseudo, random dungeons, worthless Ludo. I don't care for these bells, tossing fire, what the hell? Enemies are balls and batsos, hyper knights and giant fatsos. Swordplay Wade, crossing screen, smacked by slime, blood or dream. Cruddy music, awful graphics are to blame. So when you pop this in, you'll never truly win. I hate this game, hate this game, hate this game. Dungeon screens look the same, fall down pits, such a shame. Hyper helmet, place on heado, tried to find it, wound up deado. Little pixies, don't you kill them, parallel world is filled with flam. Broader bun, you fucking bastards, made a game with useless passwords. Prince my ears, such a wimp, flaccid sword, super limp. Forevermore these words you know I shall exclaim. So when you pop this in, you'll never truly win. I hate this game, Bludder's such a stupid name. Hate this game, fuck this game. So I want to say a special thank you and shout out to all the collaborators on this video this time around. The Ice Pirate, Nefarious Wes, Miketendo, Megadan29, CPR, Hungry Goriya, and JLove81. Thank you guys so very much for donating your time, putting your effort into these videos. It means a lot to me, so thank you. Thank you, Michael B. the Game Genie, for the initial inspiration for this idea, for this video. And I'll leave a link below to his video, so definitely check it out. Thank you guys very much as always. This is the Max Impact 24 channel. For those about to retro, we salute you. Take care. Thanks, guys.